Actually, its star Melissa Joan Hart was really what held this show together. It's a shame, because she's always casted in a bunch of kid shit, but I really don't think she was that bad of an actress. But there were other characters on the show too, most notably her kid brother Ferguson, who was determined to make her life a living hell. For the longest time I thought he was just one of those ventriloquist dummies, but then I found out there was a real actor who played him. Then there's her dopey best friend Sam, who, for some reason, always enters and leaves through the window.
Why doesn't that kid ever use the door?
That's a legitimate question. Why doesn't he ever use the door? Then there's her parents, who seem rather comfortable with the fact that their daughter is a weird psychological train wreck.
Come on, sport, it's time for dinner.
The sooner I just give up on her, the better. She spends a lot of her time chatting it up with Sam, talking to the camera, and making video games usually about indulging her fantasies. Like any of us have ever done something like that, make a video game indulging our fantasies. Alright, mine is called Robo Penis Muscle Ninja. I just played in my spare time! By looking at the fashions, you can tell that this was made around the time when the 80s were trying to die and the 90s were trying to define themselves in that they have no original way of defining themselves. But let's be honest, what we all remember from this show is the theme song. That goddamn theme song. What is it with these 90s shows and having all the lyrics be nothing but do's, da's, and na's? It's just like that other show that shall not be mentioned. Every time I heard this song, I could never get it out of my head. Why couldn't they invent an opening that had a song that was annoying, but not the least bit memorable? Like, Hey Dude. Hey Dude. Ah yes, the show that taught us that if you think your life at home was boring, at least you weren't working on an insufferable horse ranch. I mean, for a show having to deal with looking after a ranch in Arizona with horses and everything, this was a really boring show. I mean, just listen to how cool the opening sounds.
Better watch out for those man-eating jackrabbits and that killer cacti.
Man-eating jackrabbits? Good! Fuck, this sounds cool! So tell me, what's our first adventure?
I'm starting to turn into my father.
Wow! So the show takes place on the Bar None Dude Ranch, run by Rick Moranis' clone, Mr. Erst.
Jake.
Flintstone! The rest of the characters are teenagers who deal with real exciting adventures. Like, who drew this picture of me? Are we allowed to ski on the dirt? And who am I gonna leave in charge while I'm gone?
I better leave the keys here with somebody. Who's it gonna be? Well,
Mr. Ernst, if I may suggest, perhaps you should choose someone that has proven herself or himself to be responsible, good leadership skills, and excellent knowledge of horses.
I think you're both right. Danny?
Yeah. No!
No?
I'm the riding instructor.
I'm senior staff.
All right, fine, then. It'll be one of you two. You decide.
No!
No?
You have to decide, Mr. E.
Yeah, Mr. Ernst.
I'll flip a coin, Heads, Ted is in charge. Tails, Bradley.
I wanted heads.
Bradley, please, let's just get this over with. Oh, hang on. It went underneath the Jeep.
Just change the fucking channel! Seriously, it's like all they do is stand around while they look at other people having fun.
Hey look, some guys on a boat. Wouldn't it be nice if we did something like that?
Nah, that might be exciting.
Two of us should go gather up the horses while the other two go fix the gate.
Yeah, Danny, you and I'll go fix the gate. Ted, Brad, you guys go get the horses.
Alright, finally, getting the horses, some riding, roping, all that good stuff. This'll all be fun, right?
Is that the last one? Yep.
Well, we got the gate all fixed.
Great. Look guys, Brad and I have been talking and we feel like we kind of owe you an apology.
Hey! Hey! That was one horse, and we didn't even see you get it! Good God, you get more of the Wild West by listening to Slim Whitman, for crying out loud!
I couldn't imagine ever wanting to leave.
Me neither.
Neither can I, especially when there's just so much stuff to do. I especially love it when they run the end credits and show stills from the episode we just watched, as if to say, wow, what an adventure we had, huh? Hey, remember how we used to just stand around and talk about how we used to just stand around? You don't? Let me tell you about it. We used to just stand around and talk about how we used to just stand around and look out! A horse! Oh, thank God it's gone. Alright, so Hey Dude was a bit of a bust. But one show I'm sure most of you remember was the short-lived sitcom Salute Your Shorts. Though not exactly hilarious, it was a huge step above some of the other live-action shows Nick was doing at the time. It was about a camp who had a wild, restless set of misfits who all liked to get into trouble. Their counselor was a guy named Kevin Ugg Lee, so you can guess what everybody called him. That's right, they called him stupid. No, they called him ugly, of course, as he tries to keep this army of kids well under control. Unfortunately, he's about as effective as Ernest Goes to Camp in this place. There were a lot of kids on this show, but a select few stood out more than most. There was that mullet kid from Terminator 2 named Bobby, who I guess was supposed to be the wise ass of the group.
I tell a ghost story and you buy hook, line, and stinker. I just cut one.
Thanks for sharing. Donkey Lived, who seemed to have a speech impediment of all the Looney Tunes.
I got everything you asked for. Hey, what's the difference?
Suffering succotash! And Telly, who seemed to push the limits about what it meant to be a tomboy.
Bet is, if you chicken out, you have to stand up in front of the whole camp and say how much of a wuss you are.
And when I win,
I'll wear a dress for the day.
A girl wearing a dress of all the horrid imagery! Ah! Hey look kid, it could be worse. You could be like the hermaphrodite on You Can't Do That on Television, who somehow looks more masculine in feminine clothing. How is that even possible?